Zion Williamson's got to be one of the most frustrating players in the NBA right now. Seriously, this guy is like a dream star for the league. He's on a good young team. He's an incredible player. He's likable, he's marketable, and he's a highlight reel waiting to happen. Sucks that he never plays. Before we start talking Zion though, if you haven't already, make sure you leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos. So the Pelicans just announced that Zion is gonna miss the play-in tournament and he's unlikely to play in the playoffs if they even make the playoffs. And I was originally gonna do this video on my own, but I had to bring in Ben for this one because I got a whole bunch of crap for saying Ja was gonna be the next face of the league because he did that gun thing right after. But Ben said Zion was gonna be the next face of the league. So Ben, defend your man here.
This is gonna be tough because this dude Zion literally does not play. When he plays, he is absolutely insane. He's arguably like a top 15, even borderline top 10 player, but he doesn't play.
That's kind of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a problem. It's kind of the point of his job and everything to actually play on the court. So yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah, Zion, he's been out since January 2nd with a hamstring strain. And look, I've only ever pulled my hamstring and I was out for like a week. So I went on good old Google. Apparently, like the most severe hamstring strain, you're gonna be out for like 3 months. It's 4 months at this point. What's wrong with this guy?
I have no idea. And it's so weird because there was that pregame warm-up he did. He was shooting. He was dunking in it too. We see all these warm-ups of him dunking and everything. That hamstring can't be too bad. And I recently was like, the Pelicans are the most dangerous team in the West because they're playing good. You add a healthy Zion to this team and they could legit beat anyone. They were hot to start the year, but I don't get it. I really do not get why he's not playing right now.
Well, Ben, we just went over this a week ago with the Ben Simmons hitting threes in those off-season videos. You never trust workout videos. I don't care what he's doing in workout videos. You don't trust him. What's even more hilarious is the initial timetable was 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's April now. Like, dude, it's been 4 months. You should be able to play by now.
And the Pelicans have just, I mean, they haven't fallen off. Well, they did fall off a cliff for a while. They've had a recent playoff push, but they ain't doing nothing without him, though.
Oh, yeah, they're not. And it's just so sad to see because fully healthy, this is one of the best up-and-coming teams in the league right now. Like, they can battle with the Grizzlies as that young up-and-coming team. They have defense, they have scoring, they got some shooting. They basically have everything. They're a well-rounded team, but if their best player doesn't play, they got no chance of winning anything.
Also got a little veteran leadership in there. Shout out CJ.
Yeah, CJ, you know, he's not the same player he used to be. He's been dealing with a hand injury this year, but he's still a solid 20-point per game scorer. So CJ, Brandon Ingram, Zion, it's one of the best big threes in the league for sure.
Plus you got other guys around them, like you said, that can shoot, play defense. Like they got a great young coach, it seems like.
Yeah.
Really, they got everything.
They do.
Except their star.
Exactly. They should be the team right now where it's like, oh, the Pelicans, like this team for the future is gonna dominate. They're gonna be battling with the Grizzlies every year for the West, but instead it's, should we trade Zion?
Oh, we'll get into that in a bit, but back to your he doesn't play point. He made the All-Star team as a starter this year, which I thought was BS. I thought it should have gone to Sabonis because again, he doesn't play. He's played 29 games this whole year.
That's insane. And you're probably right. He did play more to begin the season, but when he does play, he's good. 26 points per game, 7 rebounds. He can pass a bit, 4.6 assists on 60% shooting. And honestly, he gets knocked for his defense. He was pretty good on defense this year. He's an insane player when he plays. Again, he just doesn't play.
I was just about to say, like, there's one problem with your statement. I get this whole point, like, Zion's an amazing player, and he's not just a great player in terms of numbers and results. Like, he is fun to watch. His dunks, his power, his athleticism, his jumping ability. I love watching the guy play. I just don't get many opportunities.
And we're just so used to him not playing now that Zion's out and you're like, whatever. Like,
yeah.
You barely even notice it because every year he doesn't play.
I'm more surprised when he plays than when he doesn't play.
I agree. I mean, what? He's played 134 of a possible 328 games. Like, that's crazy. This isn't Kawhi who's older. This isn't Anthony Davis battling through injuries. This is a guy who's still young. Like, you should be playing basketball games at his age.
He's 3 years younger than we are.
Yeah, that's insane.
Speaking of age though, like, how is this guy gonna age? Like, he's incredible right now, but he's got his athleticism right now. He's not a particularly good shooter. In terms of distributing and handling the ball, he's fine. He's kind of mid, but he's not impressive in any way. He relies heavily on his strength. heavily on his jumping ability. There have been rumors about his bad eating habits. The quote, I believe, is the bad news is he still likes to eat whole pizzas washed down with high sugar soft drinks. Now, this quote came from Skip Bayless, so take it with a bucket of salt. But how's this guy gonna age?
Probably not the best. The best comparison I can think of is Blake Griffin. They don't have the same game. Zion can do more with the ball in his hands, but we saw Blake Griffin didn't age too well. And unless Zion can really develop a shooting game or a post game, he's probably not gonna age well. But I still think he'd be fine if he could get healthy. Like, maybe he's not gonna be a great player when he's super old, but he's not old right now. Like, his athleticism should still be there for like 7 more years, you'd think.
You would think. I tell you what, this guy needs to call up whoever LeBron has on his staff for like his nutrition and his workouts. Like, this guy needs to invest heavily into his body. Like, he's already getting clowned on a lot. He had that Mountain Dew commercial, which just did him no favors. Like, whoever directed that, what, do you hate the guy? Was he a dick to you on set? Like, what did he do to you to where you shot him at that angle?
The camera angle especially did him so dirty on those.
I normally don't believe in the old like adage that the camera adds 15 pounds. Oh, and boy, it sure did with that one.
Yeah, it did for sure.
You mentioned it before, like, the Pelicans cannot trade him at all. People have suggested it. Kendrick Perkins, I think, floated out that they should trade him. You still can't trade him. He starts the first year of his 5-year, $194 million contract next year, which I don't know how well that's gonna age, but this is the problem for like a small market team like a New Orleans. Like, you can't go out and sign a big free agent to replace him.
You cannot trade this man. I don't care if he never plays, because if Zion ever is even just moderately healthy, if he can play like 60 games a year, that still makes you, with the supporting cast he has right now, the young guys, a contender. And if you trade this man to another team, like a big market or something, and he somehow stays healthy, you will regret it for your entire franchise. I mean, he was one of the most hyped prospects, literally, that I can think of, at least in recent memory. Like, obviously LeBron was bigger, but since then, he's up there as one of the most hyped prospects.
I mean, for as much hype as like Big Vic is getting right now, Zion was way more hyped.
Oh yeah.
Like, you think whoever drafts Vic is getting, what, how many national TV games did the Pelicans get Zion's rookie year? Like 30?
It was like every game, and again, he wasn't in any of them.
Yeah, it was awful. Now, if you're the Pelicans though, like, to the people who want to trade Zion, it's like, if you trade him, where do you go from here? Even if you get back a decent haul, like, we've seen what the Pelicans are without him. They're just okay. There are 45 wins at their peak. Like, if you trade the guy, you're essentially just starting all over. Might as well trade everyone else and just rebuild.
You gotta keep him, and you gotta just hope him and Brandon Ingram one day can lead you to the promised land, because healthy, that 1-2 punch for the future, I like that compared to just about any other 1-2 punch in the league. If you're the Pelicans, you gotta work with him, get him to lose some weight, get him to play somehow, and you just gotta hope. Send some prayers, thoughts and prayers, that's about it.
I was gonna say, clear out your Sundays, get in church, and start praying. That's the video, guys. What do you think Zion's future is looking like? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, as it really does help us out. And hey, while you're here, why not check out some of our other videos as well? And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.